tells you, huh?
Yep. Alright. Young men beaten, unarmed citizens shot dead, and handicapped being carelessly tasered. These unfortunate events have one thing in common: police brutality. The duty of our law enforcement is to provide a safe haven for the community, and it is to maintain the peace. However, in recent years, the media has zoned in on cases of police brutality. This has caused a negative image of our law enforcement officers and has created a fearful environment across the United States. Historically, police brutality has been going on since the early 1800s, and when poor labor workers were being victimized, and another harsh time was during the Civil Rights Movement, when African Americans were targeted by police brutality, and ultimately some of them died. Today we continue to have far too many incidents that create states where widespread riots and chaos. Recent cases involving Tamar Rice and Michael Brown have significant impact on how law enforcement officers are viewed. In this speech, I will provide awareness about police brutality and how the media has impacted the view on law enforcement officials. According to copcrisis.com, in 2014, 1,294 people were killed by police officers. In 2015, this number rose by 1, and thus far, 239 people have been killed by police officers this year. And as you can see, about every 7 hours, cops are killed by, or 7 hours, an American citizen is killed by a police officer each day. And the indictment rate for police officers is less than 1% for their killings, but for a citizen it is more than 90%. And here is just an overview of the brutality rate across the United States with law enforcement. Police brutality uses excessive. What is police brutality? Police brutality is the use of excessive and/or unnecessary force by police. It can be presented with the use of guns, pepper spray, batons, and tasers. And it also can be in the form of false arrest, verbal abuse, racial profiling, and police corruption. There are many reasons that police brutality occurs, such as no supervision. Officers have to make rational decisions on their own out in the field, so they can make the wrong choice. Some might be covered up by other officers. Little to no disciplinary actions for the officers that conduct the brutality, and racial profiling. Officers stop citizens due to race and end up unlawfully searching them regards to unreasonable causes. And in instances of police brutality, the media coverage is extensive. It is very rare for the media to cover a story where an officer is doing good for the community. Although law enforcement officers set the tone of how they are viewed, the media does a good job of highlighting how they are. Media coverage not only shines a light on excessive force, but it focuses on who the force is being used against. Race seems to be a common denominator in many of these incidences. There have been media coverages on cases of white men being the victims of brutality, but the coverage is very minimal. Due to this type of racial media coverage, all law enforcements look to be like they're violent, racist, which in some cases may be true, but in all, it is not. And for the officers who are doing their job in a manner that is appropriate, they are getting discriminated for the same actions. In conclusion, by police brutalism is very much alive. Steps are being taken and some steps being required for officers to wear cameras to allow them to document everything that's happening. Hopefully someday this will gain back respect and for our police officials, and that's it. Thank you. Let me view over it one more time. Perfect. Thanks.